Hey guys, StrainZex here with another video for you today, and today we are doing something a bit different. So today we're going to be doing a Bonelab and a Boneworks level tier list. Since I've seen Mini Battle Op and Wigman, a couple of people have done their tier list, and of course I completely disagree. Just pretty bad takes if I do say so myself. So this is the definitive best tier list you're going to see ever for the two games. So let's get right into it. All right, so we are gonna start off with let's do arena. Let's do arena. This is a classic Boneworks level. Just a disclaimer, I do not do, time trials or arena maps that much really. They're like the things I'm least interested in when it comes to Boneworks and Bonelab, but I do play them. I do actually go through them. I haven't beaten all of them, especially the time trials. I definitely haven't beaten all of them, but they're there. But arena from Boneworks is definitely a classic. Definitely a fun little map to play around with if you want to do like a horde mode type fighting almost endlessly. Well, I think it's endlessly, but it does what it does. I put it up in the A tier for arena, just because it's a good classic map. It's fun. It doesn't do anything, spectacular, but it's there. So let's go ahead and do. I guess we'll do Ascent. Ascent is what the third to second last level of Bonelab. I don't fully remember. I think it's the second or third to last level because they count home as a separate level they count home as a separate level, and then they count G115, the void space, as a whole other things. That's just the end credits, but it's considered level. And it becomes a new spawn area, or it's always been the spawn area because you always start off in it. Actually, no, you start off in the void first, the void spawn, and then you spawn into decent. But I'd say it's a pretty good, like, long end level. Like, I actually really enjoy it. I will admit I haven't played it too much. Only time I really go back to levels to either get like a train type scene, with the train that goes around and everything, or I just feel like going through it again. So I'm gonna put this also at A tier. It's a pretty cool level. I find it fun and enjoyable. I like going back to it as well. And of course we're gonna go next with Big Anomaly. Now this one is pretty freaking unique. Like, it is a pretty crazy level, and of course a lot of stuff happens to it. It's a bit not fully like mind breaking, but it is, it's pretty much supposed to be that mind breaking type of level. But it's just a pretty decent level overall. But it's not, to my opinion, it's not Ascent or arena high type deals. Definitely gonna put it in B. Still a decently good level. Big Bone Bowling. Now, again, a lot of these maps I haven't played too much of, but I played Big Bone, bowling. It's definitely not a bad map. It's definitely an okay little map to just chill around in and go bowling, of course. It's a map I definitely haven't spent too much time in. I've done like maybe 3 or 4 videos in that map. But overall, pretty okay map. I'm gonna definitely put it in a C tier. It doesn't do too much, but it doesn't do too little. Alright, up next is Bonelab Hub. Truly one of the most controversial hub labs since the start of the game. I'm gonna say this: when I first, before the very first patch ever came out, when I first played this with no patch, I don't know why people struggled with it. I didn't struggle. It was pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You looked around, you got up to the thing, you saw the icons on the crane thing, and you're like, oh, okay, so you pretty much had to figure out, oh, it's a crane game. But yeah, apparently a lot of people didn't understand that you had to go up there, you had to play a crane game and drop a bunch of stuff in pretty much the cores not into, you have to pull them out at the top of the levels and then put them into like the side tube things. So honestly, I don't think it was in my opinion, it wasn't that bad at this, well, you know, about the original patches, but I will say that, yeah, of course, for the people who needed those patches to come out to show them more clearly where to go, you know, follow the pretty lights, go up here. Like, alright, I understand it's for those people, but it was pretty straightforward in my opinion. Well, not straightforward, but it wasn't that hard to figure out to me. But I will definitely put this in the C tier for, it's not a bad hub in my opinion, but it's not the best hub in the world. I mean, it's cool what they try to do with it, but overall, this doesn't do too much. It doesn't do too little. It's just a good hub. I do love traveling. I definitely done a bunch of videos on this where, you know, you travel through the big danger door, you know, the big danger lockdown door on the left side. I always enjoy going through that part of the level and using it as like a intro and whatnot. For my older videos, at least, of course, I moved away from that because no one wants to, you know, constantly see that as the intro or anything to a video. All right, up next is Break Room. Now, this one, there's not too much to this. It's barely a level. It's literally like it's after the main. Wait, is it after the music? It's been a while since I played Bonelab, so I don't remember if it's after the museum or not. I believe Break Room is like the second level after museum. Yeah, I think it goes museum, then, you know, Break Room. No! Could be wrong, could be completely out of order. But again, I haven't played this a long time, and Break Room is definitely one of my least revisited maps in Boneworks. But I'll put it at it's a tough one because it's just like it doesn't show much. It's just a, you know, it is an atmospheric level. Like when you're first introduced to this game, you go through, you walk around, it feels all mysterious and whatnot, and then it just ends, and then it's just done. It's like, huh, that felt like it was 1 minute long. I'm gonna put it in C tier. It doesn't do too much at all. It does build great atmosphere though for the start of the game. You get that weird shockwave, which is never, at least to my knowledge, the shockwave was never explained. Like, there was just a random shockwave. And it blew everything forward and whatnot. It was like, okay, cool, shockwave, awesome. Alright, up next, Central Station. Another decent level. Definitely a level I definitely see isn't utilized much at all, really. Like, I played through it a couple of times. I'll say I probably played through it like 10 to 12 times, maybe more, just to get like certain shots for like my videos that I do. But like actually like played through it, like oh my god. Ah, Jesus Christ, it's fucking hard to check right there. Oh man, I don't know why that played. I don't know what that was about. But anyways, let's get back into it. Definitely an okay map. It doesn't do too much. It's an awesome, it's literally like the only map with rain in it. Not even really in it though, like, but it does have, well, I mean technically it does have water dripping down from one of the what they call those, you know, those things on your house's roof. I forgot the name, I'm an idiot. Drainers. I don't remember, but it's one of the maps that builds a cool atmosphere. It's like an abandoned like station, you know, like a subway station where all the carts mostly end up train carts. It's just a cool overall atmospheric level, and the only level with rain, at least to my knowledge. That brings me to another thing. In Ascent, actually, there is a part where you can actually hear rain. I believe some thunder. It's been a while since I played Ascent fully, but like towards the end of the part where before you get to the train part, I believe you can hear like rain. Someone go back and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there is a part where you hear rain. It's like after the conveyor belt that just keeps dropping random items, and then there's like 2 buzzsaws, you know, that the conveyor belt leads to. You have to run, jump over that, and then run fast. It's like right after that part. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Let's go ahead and drop this. And I'm gonna drop it in C. It's a good level, just average really, but it does build a good atmosphere. I do love the rain. When it comes to level, I love rain and snow the most. When it comes to level designs and whatnot, because they just feel the best to me. Like they're just awesome levels, in my opinion. Anyways, up next is Container Yard, one of the zombie survival maps. Now I'm gonna just instantly throw this up as B. It's pretty awesome fun map to mess around in if you want to play, you know, zombie type mode, horde mode. You just don't fight, you know, the zombie types, and just you can even do like, you know, an actual objective in the mode. It's pretty fun overall. I only played it like a couple of times. I think I beat it twice. I haven't beat all the modes in it because there's like a few different modes, but I believe I beat it twice. Like the weird objectives, 3 things you have to run around and get. It's been a while since I played it, but definitely go put that in B tier. Good little horde mode map you can just play on. Now, of course, we got Descent. In my opinion, easily A tier. I'm joking, it's S tier. Easily S tier. Is it honestly one of the best starting maps I've played for a VR title? Like, you're just put in there, you just, all of a sudden a noose comes down and you're just hanging yourself. Like, what the heck? They were wilding for that one. They were crazy for doing that. Like, just drop a noose and then you free yourself. Then you go through, explore the map, and make it all the way to the end. It's just a great world building overall. Great first start to the game, you know, before we descend into madness. Alright, up next, Drop It. I will admit I have played this very little, but it's just an okay map in my opinion. I will put it in C. It's okay. I haven't played it enough to truly give it like the best rating possible, because I have to go back and play a lot of these maps a couple more times before I can give my absolute full opinion on it. But I'm gonna put it in C tier just from the past experience I had with the map. It was good. It was decent, but it wasn't the best. It's not a map I obviously don't go back to all the time, but it's definitely an okay map. Oh boy, Dungeon Warrior. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to put this, but I mean, it's a good time trial map. I definitely enjoyed going through. I only beat it one time, legitimately one time. It was pretty, like, there was one certain part that just kept, you know, effing me over and over again. But overall, it was an okay map. I enjoyed it. I'll put it in C tier. Definitely a challenging map, but definitely a map I definitely don't go back to too much. I would say it's an okay time trial map. Up next is actually Dungeon, which is this is a very short map. You know, you spawn into the prison after beating the I believe it's Time Tower. You beat the Time Tower and then you put in the dungeon, and then, you know, you make your way to what was the next map after that? I believe it, dang, I forgot what map it was. You get after, you know, the dungeon. Was it the Kingdom map, like with King Ford? Was it Throne Room? Right, Throne Room. I believe you go to Throne Room after that. Man, it truly has been a while since I played Roadworks. I forgot what map you go after dungeon. Anyways, it's a super short map. It doesn't really do much besides move the plot along. So, for my first D tier, I'm gonna have to put this in C tier. No, I'm joking. Yeah, it's definitely a D tier. It's just, it doesn't really do much. You get out, you mess around with a bunch of forwards, and then he helps you get out, and then you just find find a little couple of secrets in the map, and then you do the one puzzle, and then you're out. It doesn't really do too much. Alright, Fantasy Arena, of course, is another arena map. Pretty much, I'll say it's B tier. Definitely B tier. It's not as amazing as Arena was. I'm sorry. It had to be said. It had to be said. Arena was better. Oh man, I already know I'm gonna get so much hate when making this tier list. But JK low, it's actually A tier. It's actually decent. Freaking arena map, I actually do enjoy it. Pretty fun map. Kill hordes of enemies and whatnot. Definitely a good map. Alright, gun range. Oof. Instantly going to C. Yeah, I say C tier. It's a gun range map, and there's not much to it. You go in, you can do. I'm giving it points for the cool little Men in Black entrance aesthetic they were going for. With the giant fan or ventilation. Definitely giving it points for that. But besides that, it didn't do too much. It was just, it was a gun range. You walk in, you get your guns, you set up, and then you go to the range. You can go through different couple of ranges. They give you, different couple of targets you can shoot, from person to animals, little fake, cardboard. I won't say cardboard, but animal targets and whatnot. But it was a decent little map. Again, it was just a gun range. Only used it in maybe 2 or 3 intros for gun mod packs, and that was a while ago. I haven't done that in a good minute. Yeah, definitely put it in C. It was a decent stuff. Alright, Halfway Park, and I already know this is instantly going to S. Sorry, it just is what it is, man. The Halfway Park is an amazing map. It's just pretty much, Gmod. It's the Gmod map for Bonelab. It's just a Gmod map for Bonelab, and I love that aesthetic and everything. I love the look of the map, the feel, the vibes, the atmosphere. Overall, yeah, we know it's not a super big map, but it's still, for what it does, it's pretty cool. A lot of people use it for their videos, for shorts, just for long form, just anything really. Everyone uses this map for everything. It's just an amazing sandbox map overall, so I don't think I have much more to say about it. Up next is Handgun Range, and this is from Boneworks. This is a time trial. I'll admit, I've only played it twice, and I haven't beaten it once. Because, again, time trials aren't really my thing. I don't really care for them. They're there. I have played a few of them, but yeah, it's just a map I haven't really played too much of. But yeah, I just don't really care too much for these types of maps. But I'm gonna put it, it's kind of hard for me to rank this because I don't really play these. I'm gonna put in C, just for pretty much the middle ground. Again, I haven't played too much, but again, they're not my thing. But if they're all y'all thing, y'all play, y'all enjoy it if you do, or you hate it if you do. I just can't really rank it too well since I don't play it that much. But up next is Home, one of the end level to Bonelab, and I have to say, pretty decent end level. I'm gonna put it at B. Definitely at B. It's definitely an interesting level to me. I enjoyed the cool little aesthetic of you coming back up to the village that tried to kill you, and you finally getting your revenge on them. You going through and slicing, cutting them down, and even killing the elders statue guys that were sitting there at the start. I mean, they weren't really technically there. I guess they put them there as statues, or they're part of the map. I don't know, but obviously, you see them later in this map. In Home, you see them firing fireballs at you and whatnot. Or I could be completely remembering it wrong, and I'm getting it confused. No, they look like they were the hooded figures, right? That they were on the Omni projector ball thing that rolled around and shot fireballs at you, or were they just eyeball ones? No, I feel like I saw. I feel like in home they were the ones that were They were like they were hooded figures on a projector ball thing, and the eyeball ones were only in the map we're gonna get to in a minute. But yeah, overall, I'm gonna put it there. Up next is Hover Junkers. My God, I made so many videos with this one, from obviously covering it when it came out in Boneworks to making cool little type of like aesthetic. I can't speak it.
In the beginning.
Aesthetic maps, or not maps, aesthetic like atmospheric videos, like when I made a flood type video and whatnot. Fortunately, we didn't have a flood mod, so I had to improvise. But yeah, definitely a cool map. I love it. It's pretty decently sized map. It's a pretty huge map actually. It's just cool, like sandbox map where you can explore, find secrets and whatnot. Honestly, it's a bit like it's not underwhelming, but it's almost underwhelming because there's like not too much to it. Like the atmosphere of the map is amazing. You exit this container and it's all grandiose. You get the music coming and it's like, you're just blown away by it. At least I was. I love the cool little aesthetic of like the cool little I forgot what they call them, pretty much the fake moon, or there is a sun, but the sun's on the other side, but it's like if you look up you can see like a planet or something. Might have just been the moon, but it looks cool as crap when you look at it. And actually I believe it also actually moves around too. Definitely good fun map. It definitely came back in Bonelab as a mod, which was pretty cool. I haven't seen many people use it. I haven't used it in a while though. Last video I used it on was with showing off like Drax's shotgun or something. But I'm definitely gonna put it in B tier. Definitely a nostalgic map, but it's not super amazing, but it's still a good sandbox map overall. Like if you want to fly around, it's the map to fly around in with any type of flying vehicle, because it has a huge wide open space. So you want to fly around like a Pelican or the Hover Junker, go right ahead. You can do it on this map. One of the few maps you can actually do it on. But up next is Long Run. Oh, Long Run, right? Long Run. Okay, I remember this map. Long Run. I'm instantly putting this in B. To me, it's a pretty fun map. It has an interesting opening where it's almost reminiscent of Runoff a little bit. Just a little bit to me, in my opinion. It definitely reminds me of Runoff in certain aspects. Definitely a fun little map to run through. Actually, it's not even a little map. It's a pretty long map. It's a long run. Actually, it's not too long. It's like you get the starting area, then you get another area where you fight a bunch of Omni projectors and some turrets, and you can shoot like a boulder. Am I thinking of the wrong? I might be thinking of the wrong. No, it's definitely the wrong map because no, that's Sprint Bridge. I was just thinking of Long Run it's that map. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting my maps mixed up in my own head. Magma Gate. Okay. This Long Run. But Magma Gate, dang. It's definitely a cool little small wave-based map. I'm gonna put it in C. It has good atmosphere, good aesthetics, a good little intro. I love the lightning animation when you first walk up to the thing you have to defend. And I love that we're introduced to an almost unkillable enemy, like in the Metal Terminator skeleton you have to throw into the lava pits. That's obviously a reference to Terminator, so I definitely love that. Definitely giving it points for that. So definitely putting it out there. Definitely used it a couple of times in a couple of videos. Definitely, if you want to show off like, a map that's like Welcome to Hell or like Doom type aesthetic map, this is definitely that map. But again, it doesn't do too much. It's just a wave defend map that you defend against pretty much an infinite wave, not an infinite wave, but like a non-stop singular wave of enemies. Like, yes, they come, you know, at a certain time, but it's like it feels like an infinite wave instead of multiple waves. Because, you know, when you get a regular arena or a wave shooting, you get a wave of enemies, then it stops for a good minute, and then another wave comes in. But it just feels, it's not endless, but you know, they just keep throwing enemies at you, so it's pretty much just one wave of non-stop enemies coming to it finally ends. Which I think they could have expanded upon this a lot, honestly, which another reason I'm putting in C. Like, they could have easily made it to where they spawn in like another, I don't even know what they call the thing that you're defending, just another, I guess, mini little pillar tower thing. I can't even call it a pillar, just the thing you have to defend. Like, they could have rose up another bridge that was across from you that connected to your bridge from the lava, and then obviously another one pops up, and then like it could have been such a great little like thing, like defend as long as you can up into, like, obviously if you're good at the game you can defend them all, or you know, defend until the very last one gets destroyed pretty much. Like, they could have done so much with it, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, up next, another controversial map, Mine Dive. I do love the intro to this map. You spawn in, it feels all like theme parky and whatnot. You're just wondering, you're like, oh, what are we about to get into? It's like, and then you realize, oh yeah, this was in the trailer too. Like, the driving, like the minecart section was in the trailer a little bit, but let's go ahead and rank this. I'm gonna go ahead and rank this. A lot of people find this map boring and whatnot. You know, I mean, after the first couple of times doing it, yeah, obviously it's gonna get old, it's gonna get boring, but definitely for like the first couple of times, it is an amazing experience of driving around this automated cart and whatnot through a pretty lengthy level until you get to the end, and then you get shot into the void. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do the most controversial thing, and I'm gonna put it in B. I'm sorry, it was a good map to me. I enjoy it. I don't know why so many people hate on the rail sections. I actually really enjoy them. It's just a break from, you know, the constant running around and firing. Now you just put on the rail and you get to sit back and enjoy the ride. And, you know, you shoot at things. You know, you sit back and shoot at things for a little bit. Then you're on the next one. It's just a mini break, you know, from the real big experience of Bonelab. And I do enjoy on the rail sections. There's ones that can be done badly, of course, but then there's ones that are done right. I think it's one of the ones that have been done pretty okay. It was pretty awesome going through. I even sometimes go through randomly just because I was just sit back, relax, and enjoy the scenery, you know, and try to see if I can hit that skeleton button before you know, do the drop, which doesn't seem like you can. Yeah. Anyways, on to the next thing. We're gonna go ahead and drop into Mirror now. Again, haven't played this one too much. I've done maybe 1 or 2 videos with it. It doesn't do too much at all. It's a mirror map. I'm gonna have to put it. I played it I barely played it. I'm gonna put it in. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to put it in D. It's an okay map, I guess. I mean, it's a mirror map. You go in, you can see yourself, which you can literally do by just spawning in the giant avatar mirror thing, or you can just go into the hub world and look at it. I mean, I understand, like, yeah, it's not like an actual, like, the hub world one isn't an actual mirror, it just shows your avatar. That I understand. If you want to see, like, you know, actual, like, simulated in-game reflection of your character plus the background plus other things, fine, okay, I guess, but it doesn't do much for me at all. Like, that's not something I really care about. I'm sorry to say, it's just, I don't really care too much about it. But alright, another controversial map. I'm getting all the good ones today. Here we got Monogon Motorway. Now, of course, again, controversial map. A lot of people hate the go-kart controls. I have to say, I am not one of those people. I won't say instantly, but I definitely you know, I figured out the go-kart controls pretty easily at the start. Like, I eventually figured them out. It was like, okay, once I got the hang of it, I just, you know, I did laps. I completed the map. Like, I definitely, my first video of covering this map, I definitely did crash a few times, but, you know, after a while, like, going through it, it's like, okay, this actually, the controls aren't too terrible. They're definitely not the best, you know, car controls ever made for a VR game, but I'll definitely say they aren't the worst. Like, you can definitely still drive this thing and actually do fun stuff with the go-karts and whatnot. Especially the modern ones. Oh my god, the modern ones are so fun. The super fast ones, the ones that can literally drive on the walls and ceiling. I love the gravity kart. That thing was freaking amazing. God, I wish we had more mods like that. I miss the early days of Bonelab. I will say that. I miss the early days when modders were just making a lot of cool stuff. But I understand, one, the community has really died down and people are really just anticipating patch 4. They're just waiting for patch 4 to drop, so that's why most people aren't really making mods anymore. I mean, of course, some people have left because they've given up on Bonelab, but of course, some people just haven't uploaded mods because they're just taking a break and they don't want to upload a mod that's going to break whenever the patch 4 comes out. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump right to it. I'm going to label it a B tier. I'm sorry. It's a good map to me. It's a cool little race map. I enjoyed it for what it is. The music is a bit questionable. Some anime type music. I don't know what they were thinking with that. I don't think it fit the map. Honestly, it was very loud and just way off for me a bit. But besides that, I enjoyed racing around and you know, beating this map as easy as it is. And it definitely made me really want a Mario Kart type racing map for a near future. I've asked in the past Hunter and a bunch of other modders if they would do a Mario Kart type mod with a cool map where you can actually race around in. Like, I would think that would be amazing for multiplayer, where you can just get a bunch of, you know, friends together, hop in Bonelab and just do Mario Kart style racing. Like, that would be insane. Like, I think that would be one of the coolest things ever if a group of modders did that and pulled that off. But yeah, moving on to the next one. All right, we're nearly done. We're about halfway through, I think. I don't know. But up next is Moonbase, another controversial map. And I'm gonna say this before even patch 1 came out. I didn't mind this map at all. It wasn't the best map ever, but I didn't mind it. Like, yes, it was kind of dumb. They didn't really do anything. It was literally a walking sim with zero gravity, which I'm gonna talk about in a minute. But it did have a cool zero gravity. Like, it was the zero gravity section of the map of the Bonelab campaign. It was pretty cool for the first, you know, couple of minutes. You jump around, zero gravity, get to throw things very far, and they float away. Like, it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. And then, you know, a lot of people couldn't figure out where to go because there was just like the map at the start that showed you. Actually, I don't even. Was there a map? I believe there was like a map that said go, but most people like brushed past it. And then obviously when the patches came out, they put, you know, pretty much the map in a more obvious place, and I believe they put multiple maps, and they put the launch pads that literally just shoot you to the ends, which is like, bruh, you could have did so much more with this. Like, you know how cool it would have been to be able to go into the habs, go into the, you know, the Moonbase's hab system, the hab bases. How cool it would have been to go into those buildings and put on a spacesuit, or even start the map and pull on a spacesuit, and like you actually had to like traverse the moon. How cool that would have been to have to actually traverse the moon. Like, that would have been mind blowing if they did that. Like, which brings me on to the next part of this, like the gravity. This is like the one map. This is the only map that has this gravity 0G moment. Like, it's not even 0G's technically. It does have like low gravity situation going on because it's the moon. It has low gravity, but Like, what the heck? Like, y'all could have did so much with this. From putting like a rover on the moon, which apparently they did have, not a rover, but a go-kart on the moon section. They were going to add it, but they didn't. For a reason, like, they could have added like a rover on the moon, or like, oh my god, I was so annoyed when you got to the space shuttle and you couldn't go into it. Now, freaking cool it would have been if you can get into it, sit down, and activate the darn thing, and you would like, oh my god, there's so many good ideas for this. You could have like shot up into even on the rail section up into that. I guess you can't call it atmosphere, but up into space, the void, whatever. Fly up to like a station that was hovering above, or a rocket that was just hovering above, and you dock with the rocket, you climb in, and then you have a true zero gravity moment. You can float around and everything. You can like collect a key card, and then get that key card, and then all of a sudden, either you get back into the rocket and it travels back down, or you could have did a cool event that happens to where like the shuttle gets hit by a meteorite and then it starts failing and then it crashes into the ground. How cool that would have been as a cool little event just for this map. Just crashing back into the moon, and then like obviously you survive the crash, you get out of the wreckage and everything, and then now you just see like debris from the ship just flying around the moon, all spread out throughout the moon. Like, oh man, it would have been so cool. And then like your freaking spacesuit would have been like cracked, and now you have to make your way to the halves before your oxygen runs out. How cool that would have been. And then obviously you get a replacement spacesuit, and then you get you start getting like a cool laser gun or something, and then next thing you know, you get like red alert, unidentified, unknown life form, and all that crap. And then that meteorite that hit you, that comes into play. There was something on it. There's multiple things on it. You got aliens. Oh, it would have been so good. And yeah, I know I'm yapping, but I'm just saying it could have been so good. I'm gonna have to do it. I will say this is a great sandbox map. Definitely a decent sandbox map, but it's going in C tier. It's going in C tier. It's only there because of the cool gravity effect, the cool, awe moment of you're on the moon, and then you can see Earth in the distance, quote unquote Earth. Definitely a cool moment. All right, museum basement. Now I've played this map a few times, and I do like that once you unlock the door, there's like a kind of like a secret thing going on, cool little stuff you can find in this map. But honestly, like besides that, it's like it doesn't do too much. It actually feels like a couple of things were taken away. One, obviously, you no longer have the spawners. You no longer have that giant other secret containment room that there's like a giant, like in the old map in Boneworks, there was a giant like closed off room. Oh wait, is this crap? Is this museum basement or is this the other one? Because there is one for Bonelab, which is also museum basement, I think. Pretty much there's two different versions. One, the original, where I was just talking about, it doesn't have the big room you can unlock, but it has like a redacted chamber area that if you use the Nimbus gun, you can go through the gate. You can go through that, and then it's like a whole other room that you can't, there's nothing in there. So you have that, and then of course you have the castle you can punch and whatnot. It was classic map. Again, sorry for any background noise you hear, guys. I'm gonna have to put this in B tier. I'm sorry, I can't figure out which one it is because I don't see the other one. Because there is another one for Bonelab, and I don't know if they're counting this as, because I believe they have the same exact name, don't they? You got basement museum or museum basements. I don't know this. I think this is the Bonelab version. Yeah, it might be the Bonelab version because I don't. Yeah, I don't see the Boneworks version. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Both of them are still pretty good for what they are. Of course, the original had weapons and enemy spawns in the castle, and it felt more. It just felt, it just had a better atmosphere compared to the Bone Lab one, which, the castle area doesn't feel too alive. It just feels gloomy a little bit. It feels a little bit gloomy compared to the original. Like, sure, you have that cool area you can get the battery to go into, and then you explore all that, but just overall feels a bit gloomy compared to the original one. But up next, we got freaking Museum, instantly going to A tier, classic map, classic intro, an amazing tutorial map to learning all the controls. I loved it since the start. I played that map and done a couple of videos on it. A good few amount of times. Instant classic. Love the atmosphere. Love that classic music. That song alone instantly puts it into a classic. But again, it doesn't do. Actually, not. It does do a good fair amount because you do eventually get to the end, and then I believe they added in. Yeah, they added in at the end, towards the end of the game's life cycle. They did add in like a buttons you had to find, which is pretty cool. Little thing they added in. You go around, you find all the buttons and everything. Overall, amazing, fun little map. You can go through it, solve all the puzzles a couple of different ways. Definitely a fun, classic, nostalgic map right there. Anyways, up next, you know me, I'm not a big time trial type of guy. Neon District. It's alright. I'm gonna put it in C. It's an alright map. Only played it a couple of times, beat it like twice. It's okay, it's a gun trial map. You kill all the enemies as fast as you can, get to the end. I believe this one, yeah, you have to find the keys though. You have to find all the keys and put them in, and then you get to the end of the map, and yeah. Now, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The most controversial map on this list to date, because oh my god, the amount of hate this map got just from things that people experience. We got freaking pillar climb here. Oh boy, this is gonna be a doozy, because this is gonna be the hot take of the century here. But before patch 1, I'm talking pre-patches, this map was good. Yes, I said it. The map was good. It wasn't that bad. Skill issue. I'm sorry, but yeah, I actually enjoyed the original Pillar Climb. I don't know why so many people, had a bad time with this map. Honestly, skill issue? No, I'm joking. Honestly, I just enjoyed the map for what it was. You just climb a pillar, you get hit by the bird things that, changed your avatars. It was a cool little gimmick. Like, yeah, I understand, like, you can get an avatar and you got stuck on it, so you couldn't complete the map, apparently. I didn't get that. I didn't really get that, really. Like, when this first came out, I never got that. I just beat Pillar Climb. I just went through and beat it. It was a pretty fun map. You had to pretty much race against the weird bird things trying to keep changing your avatar. Which, again, I found was a cool little gimmick. And obviously, once you got to the top, it just stopped. You got to choose your avatar again. Well, actually, no, I don't think you chose your avatar again. Maybe you did. Well, pretty much you got to the top and you beat the orb thing, and yeah. I do like what they did add at the top of the tower, which was multiple little, like, broken pieces you can, climb and whatnot to get to the orb and whatnot. Like, I find that to be a pretty cool little thing to add it in. But Yeah, it's going B tier. Don't care what anyone says. Good little map. I enjoyed it. Now, of course, Redacted Chamber, instantly A tier. Classic map. Love the aesthetic. Love the time loop. Alright, can you even call it time loop? No, I think it's just like, just a loop. Honestly, it's just a regular loop. Like, you know, you go through. I love the little Easter egg of you seeing D. I believe, D, yeah, you see D in the other room shooting things, which was pretty cool. He was, shooting something. I think a target or something. Like there's a crack in the wall you look into and you can see him shooting something. That was a pretty cool little Easter egg. And of course, going through the Redacted Chamber, the cool little door at the end, and you have it. It's a whole thing. I find it to be a cool map, and once you go through the door, you fall into this area, and then it loops over and over again. But oh yeah, if you keep looping, I believe it brings you to a secret room. I could be wrong, and the door actually brings you somewhere. Brings you to that room first. It's been a minute since I've done it, but I believe if you keep going through it eventually brings you to the room, and then you get like some hidden item, and then it restarts and brings you back to the starting room, which is pretty cool overall. All right, we got rooftops. We're gonna have to put this A tier. I love it. It's a cool, definitely cool time trial. Actually, is it even a time trial? Yeah, it is, because there's a scoreboard. Yeah, there's a time scoreboard. Right. So I think it's one of the better time trial maps. I definitely played it a lot more than the rest. And no, it's not because of giant dancing freaking lady. It's not because of that. It's because it's a cool, fun little map to run through. And I used it in a lot of my videos to do like, cool little montages and stuff. Definitely one of the more better time trial maps. Up next, we got freaking Runoff, instantly S tier. Love this map to death. One of my most played, definitely one of my most played maps. I played it a lot. Definitely a lot. Up next, Sewers, got to be in A tier. Good map. I mean, it's just a decent map. It's fun to run through. I love all the cool sections. I love like most areas are dark and you can like play it kind of like a stealth game almost. Like you're sneaking through the sewers and whatnot. You come across all these zombies and whatnot, or the nobodies, and you're fighting through them, and you're killing head crabs, killing nobodies, killing zombies, and you eventually make it to the end of the sewer level. I find it to be a pretty cool map. Now, Sprint Bridge. I'm gonna definitely put this in B tier. Now, before patch 1, 2, 3, whatever, before the patches came out, I did enjoy this map for what it was before the changes, but I definitely love the improvements they added to it. Is why I'm putting it in B tier. It's definitely really improved since launch. Definitely added a lot more cool features to it, from the cool, obviously, Combine helicopter from Half-Life to the new routes you can take and everything while you're going through. Definitely, obviously, it's a short map, but I definitely do like sprinting through. I definitely used it in a lot of my videos at the start of Bonelab and whatnot. I definitely find it to be one of the cool, decently cool map. Sprint Bridge. Definitely a cool, fun map to run through. Now, of course, we got Street Puncher, and when I'm looking at you, man, L take, pretty bad opinion. Sorry, gotta say it. We all thought it. We all said it. Bad opinion. This level doesn't deserve anything lower than S tier. Nothing lower than S tier. It's a great map. You run through, you kill bad guys. It feels like one of the most unique maps out of everything you're running through. It's pretty much the closest thing we got to the Streets map overall. It was, you know, it was a city aesthetic. Obviously, we were into a cool city, but it's more, you know, focused. It was more, you know, shrank down, obviously, for performance sake. But it definitely gave you that streets vibe, that city vibe, and it was fun to just run through. And it's like you're going through all the security to get to the final boss of the map, which isn't even a boss. It's just another security guy. But it was definitely a fun map to run through. Definitely one of the better looking maps, one of the more aesthetically pleasing maps overall. Great map in my opinion. But yeah, let's. We're gonna save that one for last. We're gonna save that one for last, and you're gonna see why. But up next, we're gonna do Throne Room. I do like this map. It is pretty. I won't say short, because once you beat the king and go into the room and enter the void, like the true void area, and you run through. Actually, no, it's the container for the void. You go into it, you fight, you know, endless. It's actually funny because I didn't know at the time when I first played this in Boneworks, I didn't know it was an endless wave of enemies. I thought it was just, you know, you just fight them until something happens. But no, it's literally just endless. If you stay there, you keep fighting more and more enemies that spawn in, which is pretty cool. I think that could have been like a an arena map of its own, in my opinion. Like, just cut out the throne room part and just put in that intro there as the starting room, and then you use like the crane feature. Can we consider that a crane? It's a giant hook controlled by an magnetic thing that you hook onto the, you know, the plug area, and then it pulls it up, and you go in and whatnot. So yeah. Anyways, you know, you go through the level, beat the king of Fords, and then you find the secret room. And then you go down after, you know, doing a little puzzle. And then you fight enemies, and then you can honestly just skip that part. You fight enemies, you do the long run towards the giant containment unit. And then you do the long climb. What a thrill. But overall, definitely I'd say a decent map. Definitely decent. I'm putting in B. It's not like the ending was definitely mind-boggling. Like, you got to it, you're like, what did you just go through? What was the full story? You just beat the King of Fords, and you find this secret room, and you drop down, and there's just giant containment unit. And you get to it, and then the game ends. Then the game ends with you getting shot. Truly an interesting ending to the Boneworks game. But up next is the Time Tower. Now, people like this game, like this map. Some people hate it. Some people don't care for it. I'm gonna have to put it in A, just for its, I want to say it's like presentation. Like you get to the end, you see this giant orb thing. You're wondering, what am I about to do here? And you got the orb mover or something? Like a giant long stick that magnetizes the smaller orbs, and you use that to put the orb into a cannon, and then you fire it at the big orb into certain spots. It was all a bit weird, but overall I did enjoy like the type of like intenseness to this map. Like, it felt final to me, but it wasn't, obviously, because after that you get put into the dungeon map. But it was definitely a good like presentation type map where it's like, okay, we're about to do this. We're about to reset the world clock. And it turns out you weren't doing that. You were just getting access to the void. Pretty much, you're trying to get access to the void area, and then to become immortal and whatnot. But definitely an interesting map. Putting in A just because of the show. like the presentation of the map, and like every time you put in a new orb, more and more enemies spawned in. The music was getting more, louder. Everything was going crazy, and you get to the end, and then just a massive flash of light, and yeah, just overall great presentation of a map. Up next is Tower. Obviously, it's before Time Tower. Instantly going to S tier. Amazing map. Love running through it. Played it multiple times. It's funny because at the start I didn't play it through multiple times, but as I, went through Boneworks more and more, I definitely played it a lot more because it was a good map. It was just a good map. I never did the hover junker part once. Like you can get the batteries and put it, put all of them into the hover junker. I haven't done that once. That's the funny thing. I just never felt like I needed to. But I have seen clips of it. It is pretty cool. Be able to fly the hover junker around and everything. But yeah, overall good map. Up next is Tunnel Tipper. One of the better arena maps. Putting it up here. It's definitely one of the better arena maps. It's pretty small, but it definitely does a cool little thing where you can, go through multiple launch pads and launch yourself to get away from the zombies that spawn in. I think this would have definitely been an amazing. Oh man, it always annoys me when I see a zombie warehouse, and it's like they could have done so much more. Like I would have loved if they made their actual like own Call of Duty Horde and inspired style, type of maps and modes. Like I would have loved if they expanded upon it, like do their own take with like adding perks, adding pack a punch and stuff. Like they could have done a lot with it, and they didn't. Which annoys me the most is why I'm happy Hunter and his team of modders plus a couple other modders are working on making zombie maps and porting pre-made zombie maps, of course, like Notch, saw Origins, saw Town being worked on. Of course, they haven't been worked on for a couple of months now. Like by a couple, the last update for Hunter's zombie map was probably like 5, 6, 7 months ago, and the other maps, I don't know when the last time they were being worked on. I don't know if the person that's working on Origins is still working on it or not. Last clip I saw was literally just the Origins robot stepping on him and the zombies. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know if they're still working on it or not, so that's up in the air. But I definitely would have loved a Bonelab, Boneworks take on this whole COD Zombies mode. It would have been so sick if they added their own cool little version of Pack-a-Punch and perks. Like, they could have done so much with that. They could have done, I don't know, something Boneworks-ish, Not just like drinking a bottle or a can. Just something different, a little bit different, but still gives you obviously like the benefits of what perks would do, either making you run faster, being able to have more health, self-revive system. I don't know, but it could have been so much more. But anyways, up next is Tuscanini, and that is instantly going to S tier. One of my most loved maps. I play it a lot. Obviously, shown in a lot of videos that I do. Sorry for any background noise. But yeah, I definitely play that map a lot. And yeah, I know I'm talking a lot in this video. This video is probably being long because I'm talking so much. But Tuscanini is definitely one of the classic maps. I love how big the map is. I love the new secret that they added in for Bonelab itself. We can go to the Truman Show area. You go past the Truman Show type reference, and then you can go up into a secret lab area. That was amazing. Love that they added that in the, what was it, patch 2 update. But yeah, definitely enjoyed that for what it was. Now, Warehouse. Surprisingly, one of my least played maps. Like, yeah, this is one of my least played maps. But I actually love this map. I'm gonna put it in A tier because I actually do enjoy this map. It's pretty fun. Overall, it's a pretty fun map. I mean, there's not much more to say about it. Like, the map is literally one big building, not even a big building, like one medium-sized building that you go through. You fight bunch of nobody. No, you fight a few zombies and you fight crablets, the little crablet headsets. You fight those guys and you shut down the spawner. You find the key or whatever. Was it a key or was it a battery? I know you had to find something in there to get out. No, wait, no, you didn't. You had to find a battery at the start to put it into the thing, and then you go to the warehouse, and then you find another thing, and then you make your way all the way out of the warehouse, and you go to the end part of the map. It's a super short map, so there's not too much. I mean, if you're good with jumping, if you're really good with climbing and jumping, you can easily beat the map in like a couple seconds or a minute at most. Like, you literally just climb, get to the top of the building, jump over the obstacles and whatnot, and you can get to the end pretty quickly. Up next is, of course, Zombie Warehouse. Gonna put this in B. Definitely an amazing first introduction to their custom zombies mode. Love that they put the weapon system, the weapon money buying system into this. I really wish they brought back that system for Bonelab because I actually find it pretty cool that you go through and you throw your ammo into the machine and then you can buy a gun, buy a weapon, buy a mystery box, buy my weapon. I found that aspect of that machine to be very fun. I pretty much enjoyed it. Like, I love that they added to zombies because it gives you like something to go for. The only problem is they didn't have much more than that. Like, once you got like an automatic rifle or a submachine gun, even you pretty much didn't need to use it again. Is why I wish they expanded upon this system and even added new ones like a pack-a-punch system would have been nice. A perk system would have been nice. Like, I would have loved to have utilized the system to where obviously you put your ammo into the machine and you could buy a perk, and of course for everything else pack-a-punch. Definitely it would have been cool if each time, like each round, every 5 rounds the guns and the thing would have changed. That would have been a nice touch. Like, every 5 rounds the guns would have changed in there, giving you more and more powerful guns each time. And of course for modding it would have been 1,000 times better because now we could have added like custom guns for each individual map or version of the system. Like, for example, you could have used like Rex's weapon pack or Drax's weapon pack, and each time it would upgrade the tier of the weapon, obviously, to like, regular guns to wonder weapons and all that crap. Like, it would have been so cool. Would have been so cool. But now we got into the end. I'm gonna check my recording. There we are. Okay. Yeah, this is a long video. I know, I'm the king of yapping right now. Up next, we got hands down, the best map ever made for Boneworks and ported into Bonelab. So good it had to be made twice. Not even made twice, but ported to, Bonelab. Streets, you know where it's going. It's bravo, Brandon. This was your masterpiece. Like, this is the hands down best map. I don't care what anyone says. It is the best map. It's big, it's pretty ambitious, pretty laggy at times, but it's definitely one of the coolest maps and showed us what like the potential of Boneworks and Bonelab could be, especially now with Bonelab having obviously better performance and everything, and us being able to create even bigger maps, and with the patch 4 coming out, maps will be less laggy, more optimized, having zones now. So yeah, definitely one of it is the best Boneworks map ever made. Like my most played map. I played this map to death. Like I've made so many different like cinematic videos and compilations with this map. It's crazy. Like I've done so much with this map, and I definitely can't wait to do more with it in the near future. Like even with Bonelab, I've already shown this map off like 5 to 7 times. But yeah, that is my tier list, guys. I know, pretty amazing if I do say so myself. Yeah, okay, I'm joking. Obviously, this is all my own opinion, my own tier list. Obviously, everyone's gonna have their own take on it. Everyone's gonna hate it, or some people are gonna love it. Some people are like, oh man, this is good. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is godright awful. This is terrible. Your opinion is garbage. Your opinion is trash. We all have our own takes, but I'll just end the video with this. Pillar climb wasn't that bad.
Oh, hell no.
Anyways, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, go leave a like, comment down below if you want more videos like this in the near future. And yeah, comment down if you'd like to see me do more videos on the near future. And as always, remember to leave a like, support me down on the Patreon. You know, support me down there. Would really love if more people would actually support me. You know, by paying at least a dollar. I would accept $1, guys. Like the free tier doesn't support me. You watching this video supports me more than you going to the free tier of my Patreon. But yeah, still awesome support, guys. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. As always, I'm here to take a step back and enjoy life. I'll see you on the next one. All right. Peace.